Hello guys, welcome to tutorial Ace, and in this video I am going to show you how you can do authentication and how you can use JWT token based authentication in Java Spring Boot. Guys, if you don't have much idea about JWT token, then I have created a separate video in this playlist only. You can go and check. I strongly recommend you to check that video first, only then you come in this video, it will be better. Apart from that, I have covered a complete blog tutorial from backend to frontend, and also I have another video how to create REST API. So guys, in this video I'm not going to cover those points. I'm going to cover just how we can implement authentication. Java is known for security. As you know, there are several programming languages, but in spite of being 25 years here, Java has not been replaced because of strong security. So in this one, and if you are a Java developer, if you want to a good Java developer, then having knowledge of JWT authentication is a must and very important. So guys, this video is very important, so I strongly recommend you to watch this video till end, step by step. First I will show you the copy code. As you know, this is the era of AI, so writing line by line code, it is very difficult and it's time consuming, and I think it's a waste of time as well. So I have checked this with the code. I will show you. I have provided the complete code in this one. You can also use this code, but it is very important that you should know, you should understand that code, that why you are using that code and what is the functionality of that code. So that is the main point. I will try my best to explain you that why and where these things are used. Before we proceed ahead, I will show you the practical example, okay, that why and how this Java security and with JWT works actually. Okay, let me open Postman. So basically I have some endpoint in this. This is our post, okay, with REST API. You have, suppose you have created post for REST API for using in Angular, React or any front-end application, maybe even mobile application. So if you want to access this, if you try to access this, then what happens? If I try to access this one, before accessing, and let me show you. If you try to access this through browser, then what you will get? You will get this message that you are not authorized to access this page because this is authenticated, means secure page. Everyone cannot access this page. Only one who has the authorization, those people only can access this page. Okay, so how we can access this page? Let me show you through Postman. Suppose this is our post page. If I send here, then you can see I'm getting this data. Why? Because just I tried this before, that's why I'm getting this data. Here what you'll have to do in login page, this is my login page. So first, going into the login page, what you'll have to do, here in the body section I have used here email, that means username and password, and apart from that, this username and password when I use, then I get token. So this username and password is not enough, because in authorization section, if you check what I have done here with JWT bearer and then JWT token, actually not bearer, JWT token, and this is my token. I have provided this same token, this one only. Okay, so just you need to copy and paste this token here for testing purpose, and then the same token here in authorization section I have provided in post also. So this is JWT authentication code. So that means what? When this code, when we send the data, this data, when we try to access the data, then I have to authorize, means the server has provided me this code, and I have to send this data, encoded data, to the server, and server will check and recognize whether this has been provided by server or not. If it is correct, then all the data is displaying here. You can see the same thing it is not displaying here because directly in the browser you cannot send token bearer. Using any front-end application, maybe any mobile app or maybe React, Angular, you can send this. So in the further video I will also show you that how we can create complete blog application using Spring Boot and in the front end React. Alright, so our purpose is to show you that how this whole things works. Now let's come back to the tutorial, and here complete guide using JWT authentication. So how JWT works actually, it checks identity, same happen na. First I provided here user and password. You can see when I provided here user and password, it checked, and then after checking that okay it is proper, then it provided me a security card, that means token, encoded token. Okay, this token, whenever I try to access any other page, then I have to provide this token, and I'm providing this token, only then it is allowing me to the access. So that is the central idea, the main idea. Access card issue JWT token, just you have seen, then entry at the get token requested, token verification, and then like that. Now the project structure. So guys, we have been continuing this from a blog. So let's go to here in tutorial. This is our main project. Okay, so I strongly recommend you to start from this project. If you start from this project, then it has been started from basic, front end, back end, all the things. Once you complete this, then the next video will be to understand that how REST API can be created in Spring Boot, and another video is what is JWT token and how that works, and this is fourth video. Okay, so I strongly recommend you to follow one by one, then you will be able to understand properly. Now let's come back to here. So what I'm going to do, these things are already created. Okay, this file, the new file, if you compare from the previous one, the new file that we are going to do is in config. Okay, in config, and this seeder file we will create for admin user, means first time we have to use here na user password, that's why this seeder one we will use, and this is the main file. No, this security beans is for hashing the password, encoding the password, and this post controller will be actually for post API controller. This is for post, of course. And now here security beans config and security config, this is the main one where we will be doing authentication, and these are API, 3 API files we have. Auth controller, this is for authentication, and this is for category controller, post controller. And DTO file I have already created. I have already explained in previous video that how DTO works, why we use, and how we can create REST API. So in this video I'm not going to cover this. Okay, I strongly recommend you to please watch the previous video first, then you will be understand it properly. Entity is already created. Here the new entity is user. In previous two videos I had not created this user. So user, the new files here are these three, and this auth controller, and then user in entity, and in repository user repository, and this inside the security, these 4 files. So guys, we need to create another these files, and then it will work. So let's do one thing. Let's start from here, blog application. So guys, let me show you. Okay, so guys, I have removed the security without JWT. You can see easily I can access this post through browser also. Okay, let's follow this tutorial step by step. This one is already there, we don't have to do anything in this. The next step will be security config.java, which will be inside here. Inside config we have to remove this file because it is without JWT authentication, so we don't need this. Let's do one thing, delete this file, and we will create another one inside config. Okay, no, this one is for security configuration. Yeah, security config api.java. Let's create this file here inside our config file. Now it's created. Inside this we will put this code. Of course you will get a lot of error. The package is there, software block config. Okay, 2 times we are writing here, so let's remove this. There will be only one time package. Now the next task will be to work on. Okay, so this one is done. Now another file that we need to create is seeder. I will explain all the code line by line, don't worry at all. Next one will be security config. Here it is optional, but it is needed as well. So security config, actually this is for hashing the password. Means what you have to do, we will create a separate file, so whenever you require you can just call this file, which is for multi-purpose, means multi-user, not multi-user actually, means multi-times you can use this multiple times. So let's create this file as well, security config beans, and then here as well. So have patience guys, I'm just copying pasting. You might be thinking that okay yaar, it is copying pasting, so don't worry at all, because this is how I've been teaching, and hope you understand this, because you know later I explain the code and whole process. Okay, just imagine that writing whole line of code, how much difficult it is for you as well as me. And this one we have already done. Now then auth controller, this will be inside the controller file that we already have. So let's go to, and seeder, did we create seeder file, JWT custom service post TTO. Okay, here is seeder file. So we need to create this one as well. I will explain you why do we need this as well. So these 3 files we will be requiring. Seeder is actually basically for initial user password, because we are not registering, providing their register mechanism. No, normally what happens in real life, admin does not register. You have to just provide the first user and password, and later he can change the password and admin email also. So that is the process of real world. Normally what happens, you're not going to provide register, because anyone can register and become admin. So that is the thing. So that is why you can see here what we are doing in seeder. Once again I will come back here, but just at this point of time, here I am providing admin@example.com, and this is the password. So first time this user and password will be used. Okay, next, so this config file we have already done. The next thing will be, we will create one folder called security, where JWT token and all the things we will put there. So this is the seeder file. Let's create this file inside security. It will be inside, not service actually, this will be inside security, na? So actually I put it in the wrong folder. So now it's in security. So package, this one I have to delete. That's correct. Basically you can see email and password is generated here by default. Okay, next task that we need to do is this. Okay, all these big files are missing now, so we need to create this. That's why we are getting error. Okay, data set already done. Next one will be inside security. Here we need to create another file. This controller, category controller, is already there. If you are following my previous video, you won't have problem understanding this setup at all. This one is added. This bin is also added. Auth controller. This one we need to add inside controller folder. Okay, let's go to controller, and here inside API we need to add this one as well. Now let's copy it, and then here, since we don't have the two files, that's why we are getting here in service file. We need to create this and this util, which will be responsible for JWT token creation and authentication. This util file we need to create inside config file. Config, not actually config, inside security file. Here let's click and copy. This is the main file which generates security key for JWT and also authenticate. We'll come back later here, but one more file which is required here is JWT filter, means based on authentication it will generate, it will be allowed or access denied. So three files we have created here. The complete structure has been given, you can see. Okay. Alright guys, so now this one is remaining, custom service detail. So this will be inside service file. There is service implementation, not service middle. Service, what is that? Controller, config, repository, entity, security. This also is a static file. There is something wrong here. All the service file, where did it go? Okay, actually we not inside here. This will be user repository, and one more file that we need to create, and that one is custom user detail service. This one also custom user detail service inside repository. That's it. Alright, so all the files is now created. It's saying JWT authentication, and okay, we need to import this actually. Okay, so this one is done. Let's see if there is any other file error. Inside API we are also getting this. We need to go security. Inside security, actually it's not customer details, it is inside services repository, no? Repository file. Yes, now it's error is also gone. So hope all the files are now ready. Okay, and let's try to access now here in the browser, same thing, then it should display unauthorized. Right, so there is some error. Let's do one thing. API insert controller config, all files look fine. Okay, so server has been stopped. Let's do one thing, restart the server, because several changes has been done in this one, that's why. Let's start the server again. If there is any error, then it will stop and show the error, what is the error. Then I will start explaining one by one the code. Okay, so there is some error definitely. If you want to check error, then it's here, caused by conflict, annotation bean data seeder. Plus bean conflict HD non-compatible bean definition for same name. Okay. Okay, actually this data seeder will be not here, and one file we missed here, JWT. No, this data seeder is fine, but inside our security this data seeder will be not here, so at wrong place we just placed it. So basically inside security we have JWT auth filter, JWT util, and one more file is missing, I think here. Yes, here is mistake. This custom user details, it should have been inside security. Now it's fine. So inside security there will be three files: custom user detail service, JWT auth filter, and JWT util filter. I will explain all the code one by one, but before that let's run this again and check whether it's working or not. Okay, so looks like now it's working perfect. And try to access this page once again, and we are getting error. That means what? It is working perfectly. So guys, now it's done. Now let's get back nuts and bolts, the basic thing, that how it is working, because what we have done so far, we have just copied paste the code. So I will explain you that what we have done and how this works. Let's see first the project structure once again. Go back. Okay, so what we have done, we have created these three files, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's start from here. Data seeder. I've already given you a glimpse of this data seeder, that what this. This data seeder is basically command line runner which uses this user repository and password encoder. And finally what we are doing, actually we are creating fake username and password. Fake means whatever initial username and password. So whatever username and password you want to give here, you can provide here initial username and password, and here is a password. So finally this user and password, this is for debugging purpose. You don't have to actually in your production, you don't have to write, you can comment this. For debugging purpose I'll use this, because it's displaying here that okay, this is admin user and password. So this is the thing. Here it is creating in admin new user. So let's go to user table. So what I'll do, let me start my XAMPP folder so that I can check in my MySQL. MySQL workbench. Our table name is blog db, and now all the tables here, users. Guys, you can see this is email and password, okay, which is automatically inserted into here in this models, set model, and password. After encoding the password, this is encrypted. You can see the encrypted password here is. So automatically, and role also we have given here, admin. So whatever role you want to give, you can provide here. So basically for testing purpose or initial user and password, we have just given this. So that data seeder is for that purpose. Let's close it. Next one. Next is security beans. I have also discussed about this. Security beans is actually for hashing password, and we have, you can see, password encoder, and here the bycraft one, this one is used for hashing the password, and this is for authentication manager, get authentication manager, means in configuration. So we have kept it as separate file, and now this one is important file. It is where everything has been implemented, and in this one you can see JWT auth filter has been used. So what is this? This JWT auth filter, this one means this is responsible for filtering the data. Just let's come back here and see. This one is for authorization and authentication, means creating JWT token as well as validating whether it's correct or not. So for that purpose, and here you can see this one, it is taking the secret key. You have to provide secret key also for creating JWT authentication. So you can find here in application, inside resources, you will see application.properties till YML file I am using here. So this kind of JWT security code I have provided. So this one is taking in JWT util, this secret key, okay, and then this extract token for returning the token, and it is for date, and extract claim. All claims means what? Means user client is trying to claim that okay, I am authenticated, so it is checking all the things. So you can see, look, Java is complicated a bit as compared to other programming language because it is highly secure. So in one go it is not possible to understand fully. You will have to have patience and repeat this video to watch again and again, then you can understand. Okay, so request claim and volume is token expired. If the token is expired, it is also checking, and now it is generating the token finally here, okay, with user details, this one. So where is this user details coming from? Custom user details we have created, na? The core user details, it is taking from there, right? And then create token, including all the things, which is time, current, and this technology using secret bytes, and this one is for validating. So you can say in short, this code is for generating the token. The above all the process, all the things are for validating. After validation, it creates the token and gives back, and this one is for validating the token of the users. So this file is for creating and validating, but after validation what will happen? Filtering work is done here. You can see, based on that, first it will get header authorization, then bearer token, and it will check username and password and get context authentication. So based on this, it will, after filtering, it will check whether which file is authenticated and which one not. Okay, so now let's come back here once again in security config, the main file, not this one actually, inside our config file, this one, this is the main now. Okay, so what is happening here, you can see this one is we are disabling for cross course origin. Okay, so that this CSRF will be not required, that's why. And here you can see we are authorization that okay, any file which starts from API and auth, it must be authenticated. And permit all means apart from all, for example there will be register page, other page, that will be permitted also. And here you can see authenticated means post and categories must be authenticated, means unless the user is logged in and JWT token is validated, then these pages will not be allowed to access. So that is the main purpose. And exception handling, if it is not JSON format, then it will show this error. And if the user is not permitted, then this will show forbidden. And then this one is for session management, and this will add before, if route is not matching, then it will show. So guys, you can see this is the main file, and all the helping file it is taking there. And one more file is remaining, and that is user repository. Inside user repository you can see there is nothing, just optional user and find email, which will check whether email is correct or not, that's it. And I've already mentioned in previous video why this is optional, because there can be email or can be not. If user does not enter any email, then it will show null pointer exception and the program will terminate. To avoid that, we do here optional. The email can be or can be not. If there is no email, then it will show another error, custom error. So that is the idea. And next one is, we have already checked all the files. Yeah, inside controller API there is auth controller. Inside auth controller, what is happening here, you can see all the files we have called here: authentication manager, private, JWT util for JWT token, so it is calling here request body, means we are sending there. Then auth manager dot authenticate, username and password authentication token, it will be checked and find user details, and then generate token. This token will be generated and it will be given here. This is the same thing. When I try to log in here, then this token is generated. And this is login request, and this is auth response. So guys, this is how the whole things work. And custom service detail, we have already seen this. Login, load user by username. This one is for if username is there, then it will load username, or else it will show error. I have already told you this one is for JWT authentication, creating content, creating JWT authentication code and validating that. And based on the JWT token, it is doing filtering whether it is authorized or not. It is checking all the bearer code and token. So guys, hope this video is useful. All the code is provided there. In case you have any question query, don't forget to write in the comment box. I will try my best to help you. So guys, if you're still new and you have not subscribed my channel, then strongly I request you, please subscribe and help me so that I can create more such useful videos. Thank you.